Adjusting. It's happening as I speak. I bet each one of you have shifted in your seat at least once before I started my talk. And if you think this whole discussion is going to be on this single word, you are completely correct. But after writing this out, I've noticed that adjusting is way more complex. What is adjusting exactly? If I were to give you a shallow example, it would be something like a meaningless action, brushing an eyelash off your face. The kind of adjusting I'm going to be talking about is more on the mental side of things. Adjusting can range from breakups to moving. Comparing adjusting to a simple object would be comparing adjusting to a cup of water with an ice cube in it. Let's say that the ice cube is you. You, with all the lessons that you've learned from previous experiences and pieces of personality that you've gained during those experiences. Let's say that the water around the ice cube is the new atmosphere you're entering, including all the lessons the people in that atmosphere have learned and pieces of personality that they have gained. Both the ice cube and the water have lessons to teach. Now, I'm going to leave this here and come back to it later. Adjusting that has occurred in my life has been moving. I've only moved once, and already I can tell you that it isn't as simple as shifting in your seat. I used to go to ACS, the American Community School of Abu Dhabi. It was the only other school I'd gone to, not counting preschool or AISR. I thought it was a big school at the time. Moving to AISR had me change my mind, but the point is, I knew my way around it. I knew where to stock up on Airheads and Gatorade, where to spin around in circles when it was raining, and where the best ramps were to ride your friend's scooter down. You could say it was my home away from home. My group of friends grew as I did. Some intelligent, some kind, all of them unbelievably funny. I've known them for as long as I can recall, and for however long that was, they've supported and cared for me. As for my teachers, they've all taught me the basic school stuff, and to go along with it, lessons I will remember for life. They taught me that success comes from time and effort, and that reaching success isn't always easy. One of my teachers has mentioned that when it comes to moving from a place you love, there's going to be a point in time where you break down completely. A point in time where you realize that you may never see this place, these people, ever again. For some, it may come early, the night before your last day of school, or during your last day of school. For others, it may take longer, like on the plane ride there. I assume now that I realized later on because I'd never moved before. On my last day of school, it had never happened. When I landed, it had never happened. But on the night before my first day of AISR, it did. I was up late that night. I broke down crying over the sink in my bathroom. While I was doing so, I was thinking to myself, it happened. I was also thinking that I may never tell anyone, but here I am. Thank you, TEDx, for exposing me. My first day here at AISR went better than expected. I made some friends, wasn't as intimidated by the size of the school as I was before, and met some amazing teachers. I found it strange having to introduce myself to so many people, for the only other time I'd introduced myself was when new kids came to my school, but in the end, I survived. Getting to this new atmosphere, we ourselves feel the need to change with it. What we don't realize is that people are going to want to talk to someone different. And to be different, you need the lessons that you've learned from the past to shape you. So, in truth, you don't have to change. You could stay exactly the same as you were before. But are you really going to? With the pressure of fitting in and representing our new school, we tend to steer off the idea of being ourselves. And in the beginning, it's okay if you do, because we all do. In fact, we may never find ourselves. All we really need to make sure of is that we're on the right track. On this track right now, I've got teachers and a group of friends that are just as incredible as my old ones, and a learning environment that I'm more than comfortable in. But even so, I think about Abu Dhabi. I think about my home. I realized that I was happy with the way I was living, but if I had the choice to go back, I wouldn't know how to choose. I was happy there, but now I can easily find that same happiness here, and I'm sure most of you guys can right now too. Moving is different, but this difference has given me the understanding of multiple perspectives. If we get back to my cup of water, the ice cube will eventually melt into the water, and the water will eventually become cooler than it was before. And when it does, that's when the new atmosphere is adjusted to you, and you have adjusted to the new atmosphere. The ice cube didn't melt any faster, and the water didn't get any warmer. They both adjusted to each other. The new kid isn't the only person who's adjusting. We all are, all of the time. You don't have to feel the need to change, and the environment doesn't have to either. We just need to let both the ice cube and the water settle into each other. Letting this happen just makes us a cooler community. Cheers.